Watu wa Makueni wale wako na shida za aina mbalimbali waje, na kupitia kuzunguka tu hapa, mimi mwenyewe nimeona shida ambazo hata mimi sikuwa natarajia, ambazo zinaweza kuja hapa, kama za watoto wadogo. Mmoja ako na miezi 3, mwingine ako na miezi 6, na pia hao wote wanataka upasuaji. Na upasuaji mwingine ambao unatakikana hapa ni ule wa nini ya juu. It's not a very simple surgery. Kwa hivyo ni njia tumeitumia kupitia ushirikiano wetu na idara ya afya kuhakikisha kwamba tunaweza kutumia hospitali hii kuhakikisha kwamba watu wale ambao matibabu inaweza kuwa ni ngumu kupata ama ni bei ghali kupata, wataipata kwa bure.
Hii ni ndongo isie kundi ya Rotary Club na falame wetakana kielelo cho withane kutethesia ene nthi ala mateno kwati wa kuyana kukwata uiti.
Because this is something that we're very passionate about, working in communities, trying to build the healthcare within communities. It's something that we've done in collaboration with different partners, the Surgical Society of Kenya, other Rotary clubs, Kenya Society of the Blind, and also other partnerships, pharmaceutical companies, and every partner has brought something to the table, either in terms of technical expertise, the fundraising, the pharmaceuticals, and even where the doctors are going to stay. So for us, just being grateful that the community has responded in a very big way. We're grateful for the hospitality by the county. We have received very warm reception. Bado hatujajua Makueni chakula huku inakaaje, but we'll be able to collaborate for the week, and the whole idea is that the community gets to benefit.
So far we've done a number of operations, some of them with children with hernias. We also have done people who have swellings in the neck, what we call goiters. And also we also are about to start doing cataracts today, and other small lumps and bumps here and there on the bodies. Yes.
Iseso yeye konya kwikuthimi wa mana kana screening na ende muunda nengo usungio wanda wa na alame kwendekethyo kukwata uthinzi kana surgery mathikwa ou vatendivi. Caleb Chalo, Mutongo TV, Vilingi wa Mauvoo.
Tuwa maondoni makonetia uiti na uimawamwi Mauvoo kuma kundi ya USAID monania kana kati wa kila tuana tuili wayulu ande kamwani kakomanete na choma kisumu cha lead kana kukwata sumu usu walaki kietete iku milioni umwe kila mwaka. Mauvoo ama elesi ya kanata sianata milioni maana nyanya ndini wa ndi ila siende kuya na Kenya yevo ni komanete na sumu o kana lead poisoning walaki kietete ukuno munene kwa siana na ndo aima mabuma kama yuma matavikite kana siana kusiawa na akili nini kana low IQ.
Ministry of Health, Vice Chancellor, CEO.
Kuena na kunikilula wona ni kundi ya USAID ni kana siana milioni maana nyanya nzini wanze ila siku ya na Kenya yevo nisithito sina mathina la maumanite na lead poisoning alana mawamaito ala maito masiana ikana maudhu masiana itena uima wakiliko.
Globally, an estimated 1 out of 2 children in developing countries has elevated levels of blood, elevated lead levels in their blood. And it affects, as Luigi mentioned, nearly 800 million children worldwide. Lead poisoning, especially in children, is devastating with irreversible effects. Lead exposure can lead to severe cognitive impairments, reduced IQ, and long-term health complications with no safe level of exposure for children.
Kavinda nikanzi kutania mwaka wa 10 wako kitana na Mauvoo amba kona nitu na lead poisoning. Muvea wa uiti nuende na kuthuimamia wile nene tekwa nango kwa mawithi ululuko. Kiuma keki ya lead kivo na valo kunikiliukuweta kana siana ngilima na dhanza tuta ikuata wane mathina makona nitu na chuma kecha lead kila mwaka.
Kenya's primary sources of lead contamination include informal recycling of lead acid batteries, e-waste processing, industrial emissions, and the use of lead-based paints. While there have been multi-sectoral efforts in Kenya to adopt important lead paint and other regulations, there's still much work to be done to strengthen, monitor, and enforce regulations. It is estimated that lead exposure costs the global economy $1.4 trillion annually, and I think This morning we were talking about that number could be an underestimate. It contributes to over 1 million deaths each year.
Mwandiki munene muveane uwa witi Mary Muthoni ni wikithise kana serikali niende na kumanza njia cia kusia sumu uwa lead.
Lead poisoning exposure has detrimental effects, especially to the pregnant mothers, their unborn children. Remember, this hazard to the pregnant mothers can lead even to miscarriage, premature birth, stillbirth, low birth weight, and congenital malformations. The estimates from the World Health Organization indicate that lead poisoning accounts to 0.6% of the global burden of disease and contributes to approximately 600,000 cases of intellectual disability in children annually. These are not just figures, they are figures that could be alarming in the future.
Itina wa muvea wa mawithi luko kukwata mbao kuungama kwa asbestos. Muvea uwa witi na wani wendi asbestos isi vetangwe kati wandu wenda disposo unduvaile.
There's already a directive about replacing the asbestos sheets across the country. So what are we doing about this? How are we going to take care of the while disposing this asbestos? It is important as a ministry, as a community, and as a consortium to be able to come up with solutions. You see, the minister has declared himself. The Ministry of Environment have already declared, but what are we doing about it? Because we must be part and parcel of the solution. It is not just about removing, but there's also that which can harm if they are poorly removed and disposed.
Muthoni ingine weti serikali taikuitha yusiimana na alama utwaise utandithia wo kutumia kiuma kia lead nzika yoni cia kulanga mawatha vuma kiuma ki.
I have stated there is no point of reinventing the wheel. We must review laws, regulations, guidelines, and strategies to tackle the emerging chemical of environmental and health concerns, including antimicrobial resistance through a One Health approach. We have a duty and an obligation as Kenyans, and therefore as a ministry, we will finalize and validate and disseminate the national policy on sound management of chemicals, lead poisoning prevention advocacy, legislation compliance, and enforcement in partnership with all of you as our key stakeholders and multi-sectoral committee. And equally, as the custodian of public health issues, we will develop the national strategy and action plan for the management of risks associated with exposure to lead poisoning and partnership with key players and everyone else.
Kuripoti ya Vilingi wa Mauvoo Nilina Musangi.
Maundu ma mbumbano na mawonanio kana meetings, incentives, conferences and exhibitions mewatekana tamongelekete muno itina wa COVID-19 kuthea kindu kilaita ilitia utandithia Kennedy Mwachuli ulane manager munene Pride in Azua musini wa ilobi yasekana mongeleku wone wetete na yandama ma utandithia kuma Kenya na ndisi anzaba mwe kutethesia mahoteli ukwata ando Angelina.
Kennedy Mwachuli na ulane mungami unene hoteli wa Pride in Azura nukuetekana utalii kwisila mbumbano na maono nyomasi ndu kivithukanyo ni wali tevanene na kutuma mahoteli makwata atalii kuma vandhi ya Kenya na ndisi anza kwa wingi undula utumite mahoteli maingi maambisi ya kuongela miako ni kana kwithiwa na utonywa kukwata namba nene ya atalii.
The MICE sector in the country has actually seen a rise post the pandemic. We were worried a bit during the pandemic, but post-pandemic, there's a lot of demand for meetings, and therefore this has been able to help us, push numbers and volumes into our country and also into our hotels. We currently are a mix of local MICE. We also have international meetings that come to our country, and to say the truth, we are benefiting from what is coming out from the international market. And of course, whatever happens on the international scene affects a lot on these meetings.
Ainene angaliko cia diani ndino komona ya maundu ma kiutalii mwaka wa 2024 no wetekana mahoteli yuni mambisie kwa ile iwango cia uthukumi na kufikia iwango nene na ile itonya kuwete atalii kwa wingi kuma nthi cianza undula kuwetekana no kutethesia vanene kwa ile movia u na mawia kwi a Kenya kukwatikana kwa wingi.
I think in Kenya there is a potential for growth in MICE travel. Hotels have really improved standards. We are all really making sure that the standards are all international, and that helps us be able to attract international travel, and therefore MICE will definitely be a way to go in the future as well, because the numbers are looking good.
Ingeni wathingilila vata wa mawithi ululiko mathiu na muno kuukitana na kunyaika kwa sindu cia plastic na ila ciithitwe iananga ciumbe cia kiwuni na ila ciithia wasiatete atalii kwa wingi kuma nthi cia ntha.
I think sustainability in terms of the environment is a way to go, and for hotels there is a lot of harnessing of natural energy to be able to cope. We are a hotel that is plastic free, and we have put in a lot of efforts to ensure that our environment is clean, with emphasis on solar energy and basically cleanup of plastics.
Ona uyo president wa World Travel Awards Graham Cook na ula withitwa itambuka vanthi ya Kenya kwa kilungu cha miaka mbewa 50 no wetekana nthi ya Kenya yina uthui mwingi muno kwisila nyamo cia kithekani mahoteli manene beach siema na icio ingi cia kiitali na ila atalii mende ya wianisio na vena vata wa kwisovya undu violate kana nthi ya Kenya ivikie kukila kiukwati kwisila maunduni ma kiutalii.
Hospitality is a great employment driver. And I think with Kenya, in its current stature, with you're known for. I mean, I love sports. You have great athletes in this country. You look at what the things that make you unique. Your unique factors. Well, you have Big Five. You have incredible weather. You have incredible people. You have a great hospitality. You have all of the elements. Great beaches, mountains. You've got everything. Safari, you have lots more things than we have in England. So you then really have to say, well, why is our economy probably ranked, I don't know the exact where it is in the world, but it shouldn't be. This should be a pot of gold. It should be for young people. They should be saying, I don't want to leave Kenya. I want to come back to Kenya, and I want to make the hospitality here in this country the best in the world.
Ngilivoti ya Vilingi wa Mauvoo nita wa Angelina Mose.
Ni mube Angelina Mose na ngewesu ya gune ato vichamuthi wa Vilingi wa Mauvoo mwanda ni wa saa 3:30 nita wa Steven Mwema atu inake teresia mwendea yonengelelia Mauvoo kwanzia ya meko ni mube ando wa kusea isi hani mube kwa onde lama teresia kumbania na kuwata Vilingi wa Mauvoo tu idha nengi kwa ndani kwa mwei watu wa koma nasa.